It's another day in the man cave and another day for G.I. Joes. Stay tuned. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. This is Paul Knapp coming to you once again from the man cave, and today we are up to 1997, the class of 1997. This is an epic year in that it brought us our first female G.I. Joe, and we are done with the muscle body and in with the classic collection body. So let's go ahead and get started. Our first figure for today is the female helicopter pilot. This was the first figure for 1997. It is an Army helicopter pilot. She comes with a flight suit. There's radio comms there on the side and the flight jacket with helmet. Not a lot of gear, but that was okay. This is the female Helo pilot, 1997. Second figure for the year is the U.S. Army Drill Sergeant. He comes with the Smokey Bear, what we call the Smokey Bear hat. This is one of the few that actually have his devices on his collar devices there, and they look to be hard plastic or even metal. Has his canteen with a belt, has some ear pro here, and his regular cover to match his camis. Again, a lot of these classic collection figures didn't come with a lot of gear, which is fine, because they never gave you a backpack anyhow to keep a lot of stuff in. But this would be the 1997 U.S. Army Drill Sergeant. Now here is an interesting figure for you today. This is the Belgium Para Commando. I never knew this figure existed until one of my followers, Johnny Cedric from MIB, Mitten Box, showed a video on it, and I was like, I've never seen that figure. I need to get it. This was the 1997 Belgium Para Commando. So he does exist, and thank you, Johnny Cedric. Now here's an interesting one for you. This is the Navy Aviation Fuel Handler, also known as the Grapes, from the purple shirts. I always wondered why Hasbro never made red for the AOs, or yellow or green, but the only one they ever made was the purple one. Again, this is the Navy Aviation Fuel Handler. If you've been following along with each episode, you'll know we're up to figure number 87. This is the U.S. Marine Corps Sniper. I always loved this figure. When I saw this in 1997, I think this is the one that really got me started on collecting all of them. You know, I didn't have a lot of the mission sets. I saw this figure. I'd worked with the Marine Corps for 5.5 years, and I was like, yep, I gotta have it. And I think this one was the one that really sparked it. It came with the binoculars, his sniper rifle, and also an M16. But I just thought that the ghillie suit was the coolest thing. And this was one that I really enjoyed getting started with collecting 12-inch figures. So this is the U.S. Marine Corps Sniper, 1997. Number 88 in my collection is this guy right here. This is the U.S. Army Tank Commander. Came with a grease gun, I guess, sidearm, and his helmet, goggles, and radio comms. Not sure this cami outfit, if it was ever really issued in real life, but the grease gun kind of went away after World War II, I thought. But so if this is a later figure, I'm not sure why it has a earlier weapon with it, but it was still a nice figure. And this is the 1997 U.S. Army Tank Commander. Now I'm showing you the box of this figure. I do not own it yet, however it is on order, and hopefully will be here to complete my collection soon. But this one is the French Foreign Legion figure. Again, came out in 1997. The French Foreign Legion. Number 90 in my collection is the 1997 Tuskegee Fighter Pilot. This is one of the first figures dedicated to African Americans fighting in World War II. If you've seen the movie Red Tails, this is the Tuskegee Fighter Pilot. The second figure dedicated to African Americans fighting in World War II was this figure. This is the Tuskegee B-25 bomber pilot. He came with his lunch for the crew, I guess, thermoses and lunch, and there is a sidearm as well as his headphones and his flight jacket. But again, this is the second Tuskegee figure, B-25 bomber pilot. Now this is the first Medal of Honor winner figure that Hasbro came out with. They came out with several. This was the only one for this year, 1997. This is a World War II figure. This is Francis S. Curry. You can tell he has his Medal of Honor on. Came with a bazooka, M1 rifle, a BAR, and his web belt, helmet, and leggings. Again, this is the first of several Medal of Honor winners that Hasbro came out with. This one is Francis S. Curry. Now this is the first of two astronaut figures released in 1997. This was dedicated to the Mercury series. This was the Mercury astronaut. Again, he came with his life support system, silver suit and helmet, very reminiscent of the early 1960s space shuttle suit that was issued. But this is the Mercury astronaut, released in 1997. And the second astronaut released in 1997 was Robert Crippen. This is dedicated to the space shuttle astronauts. This is the more recent space uniforms, space outfits. This is astronaut Robert Crippen. Now this is probably one of the best figures, boxed figures, Hasbro ever came out with. This was the D-Day salute figure. No particular person that they were thinking of, just a salute to whoever served on D-Day in World War II. This was a soldier. Mine is the Big Red 1 figure. I think they made 3 or 4 different ones, I'm not sure. But man, he was kitted out with everything that he had. The backpack, the tent is rolled up in back. He's got a blanket. I mean, everything that they would have taken on the beach. Even down to the leggings. These are cloth. They're not the cheapo ones that Hasbro started making later on with the, that was rubber and looked like part of the boot. I mean, everything is individual, almost like 1964 figures where everything came separate and everything was quality. This figure was awesome. So if you can get your hands on one of these and you only have one figure to collect for 1997, this would be your one. This is the Salute to D-Day figure. And if you're following along, this is figure number 95 for me. There were 2 generals released in 1997. This is the first. This is Dwight D. Eisenhower. He came with 2 flags, an Army flag and a U.S. flag. He had a hardcover, and you can see the soft cover tucked in there. 5-star general. His rank is on his shoulders as well as his cover. And he still had the leggings on. This is World War II. And this is the first general for the year. This is Dwight D. Eisenhower. And the second general released for the year was none other than George S. Patton. He came both with his Army flag and U.S. flag. Actually came with two helmets, two 3-star general helmets. Black version and then the green version. Also came with his dog and his riding crop, I guess. And a set of binoculars. Also has his I guess tanker jacket on, very similar to the flight jackets. Has seen some wear and tear. Those of you that collect these, you know all these leathery looking, which are not real leather, get all sticky and tacky and peel. And mine has seen better days, but here he is, George S. Patton, and he is number 97. Now this is the first of 4 mission gear sets that came out in 1997. This is the Navy SEAL mission gear. It came with a soft boonie cap, goggles, UDT, a rebreather, sidearm knife, small oxygen tank, and it's like a little Uzi or MP5, and fins. Oh, and a directional compass for underwater. Again, this is the 1997. This was not a figure. This was a mission gear set. This is the Navy SEAL mission gear set. This is the second mission gear for 1997. This is the Army MOPP gear, MOPP. I believe it stands for Mission Oriented Protective Posture, or something similar to that. There was no figure with this. This is basically the hood, the helmet, his first aid kit, belt, canteen on the back, and this, I believe, radiation detector maybe. Saw a lot of this in Desert Storm, Desert Shield. It's basically your chemical weapons protective gear. So this is the MOPP MOPP gear mission set. This next mission gear set I'm showing you in the pack because I, for some reason, don't have it. I thought I did. Even checked the storage and attic, but I do not have it in my arsenal, so I ordered it off eBay. Should be coming in a week or two. But this is the M60 Gunner's Pit mission gear set from 1997. Now this is the final mission gear set for the year. This is the Recon Base Camp mission gear. It came with a sniper rifle. It's not the one shown here. I will post a picture of the one that it did come with. I like this one better though. That's why I put it with my sniper that I used with this mission gear set. It came with this little lean-to, 3-piece lean-to, well, 4-piece if you count the tarp. You're supposed to stretch the tarp over the top of that. Came with a fish on the fire pit and canteen, mess kit, MREs inside there, and a flashlight. But this was the Recon Base Camp mission gear. The last one for 1997. And that will conclude 1997. I'd like to thank all my subscribers for sticking with me on this journey. As you can see, I did leave space for the French Foreign Legion figure that I'm missing right now, as well as the M60 Gunner's Pit. So hopefully I will get those in soon and my 1997 figure set will be complete. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for 1998.